What is up, my friends? We are back with Thursday night's Anfield Agenda news roundup. This evening, we're going to be talking about Ibrahima Konate, as it looks like he's back on Real Madrid's radar. We're going to be asking, how busy are Liverpool going to be this summer, and is there any chance the Reds can sign Michael Olise? We'll also be giving you some numbers that hint at a potential decline for Alisson Becker. We'll let you know which Liverpool goalkeeper has moved on, and lots more coming up over the next few minutes. You know the score, my friends. I want to know your thoughts, so do let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, but most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I should probably introduce myself at some point. My name is Craig, by the way. I know a lot of you know my name already, but some people tuning in, maybe joining us new, just to give a bit of a clearer indication. That is my name. My name is Craig. Connor is the other face on the channel, and we do our best to keep you right up to date with all things Liverpool Football Club related. This evening, we're going to start off with a story from Fabrizio Romano, and he said, I think it'll be a very busy summer for Liverpool with regards to wingers. It's very clear that they need to reinforce the wide positions. The situation with Salah and Gakpo in general, I think Liverpool need to add something fresh in that position. I'll come back very soon, he said, to tell you more. Michael Olise is appreciated, but Bayern have no intention at all of letting him go. There's no release clause in his contract. There are other realistic targets for Liverpool. Now, there is a bit of debate about whether there is a release clause in Michael Olise's contract or not. Some reports suggest there is, and it isn't active until next year. Others say that there is no release clause whatsoever. But either way, it's always going to be a difficult job to try to get Michael Olise out of Bayern Munich. Now, what does he mean by Liverpool have other realistic targets? Of course, he's talking about the likes of Jan Diomande of RB Leipzig. Somewhere between 85 and 100 million euro, probably the fee they're going to look for. And I think that is somebody you will probably see Liverpool make a play for this summer. That being said, in this piece, Romano mentioned Salah and Gakpo, but didn't mention anything there about Federico Chiesa, who we know is one of the players likely to depart this summer. I think as fans, we've got to be very careful here, because if we're talking about Gakpo, Salah, we're talking about Chiesa leaving, that is a lot of bodies to replace in one window before we start talking about the age profile of these players and things like that. So I would say Chiesa, common sense, no surprises there if he moves on. Salah the same, but honestly, I'd be surprised if we do let Cody Gakpo move on this summer. Think about it. He's coming into that profile now, 24, 25, 26, into his peak. If you have Rio Ngamoa, Jan Diomande, young wingers coming in, you are going to want a senior pro around as well to help that transition. Of course, you have Ekitike, you have Isak through the middle, but just giving you my 2 cents on that one. So, let's move on. A report from Jack Lusby said, official, Fabian Rosek has completed his move from Liverpool to MLS side FC Cincinnati. The Polish goalkeeper joined on an initial loan with an option for a permanent transfer. He joined Liverpool in 2020 and most recently served as a training goalkeeper. So best of luck to him and his new endeavours over with Cincinnati, and of course we'll let you know if that move is made permanent. Now, before I get stuck into the Real Madrid Ibrahima Konate stuff, a quick reminder, we are giving away this signed Kenny Dalglish frame shirt completely free throughout the month of March. All you have to do, scan the QR code there on the screen, join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp, and there you will see the link on how to enter the post. We will have one giveaway every month throughout 2026 with thanks to our incredible friends at the collectorscorner.co.uk. Bottom right hand corner of your screen there you'll see our discount code Anfield Agenda 1. That will get you 20% off anything store wide at the collectorscorner.co.uk. Right, let's get back to Ibrahima Konate. It seems to be he isn't of interest to Real Madrid. 1 minute they want him, the next minute they don't. Now builders saying that Real Madrid do indeed want Ibrahima Konate. He is their top centre-back target this summer. Now, I don't know what happens here. Like I've said, 1 minute you feel like, yeah, maybe it's going in the right direction. Another, he's been linked with a move away. What I do feel comfortable in saying is, if we lost Ibu, then it's imperative we get somebody like a Nico Schlotterbeck, somebody to come in for the here and now, to maybe be that next defensive leader after Virgil van Dijk. We know we've got Giovanni Leone, we know we've got Jeremy Jacquet, and they'll both be coming in the summer back into the first team fold. Obviously, one of them, actually, they're both out with injury, if I'm being honest, so they're going to be coming in. But you do want that experienced head in the centre of that defence. Expect Joe Gomez to maybe move on as well. And it's looking like it's going to be a busy, busy summer for Liverpool. Whatever happens, and I mentioned this earlier on, if we lose 6, I want 9. Whatever happens, I want Liverpool to basically build out that squad with 2 or 3 extra places rather than going into next season with a small squad that Arne's going to moan about, or whoever in charge is going to moan about if we pick up some injuries. I think we're going to have to play the game here. Liverpool often say they don't want a squad of 25. I think we're going to have to start looking at that if we really want to be going deep across all competitions. Now, Arsenal, a stat from Up to Joe. I got to be honest, I knew about this stat earlier on, but I had to double check that it was legit. 30, that's what they say. Arsenal took 30 minutes and 51 seconds to restart play against Brighton last night. Their highest total in a Premier League match this season. Delayed is what they say. It's crazy. They really are taking all the joy out of football for their fans. And look, if they win the league, it will be a means to an end, but it must be a difficult watch. And again, if you're playing against them, 30 minutes of that 90 that they didn't have the ball in play. Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen, this is what they have to do to try to win a title. And if they do it, I guess they'll think it's a job worth doing. Right, let's talk about Alisson Becker for a minute, because I was reading through a piece earlier on the Echo, and they were talking about what's going to happen. Now, his contract is technically up at the end of this season, but Liverpool have the option to trigger a 1-year extension, which of course you would imagine they're going to do come what may. But they do have a little line in it that stuck out to me. They said, worryingly, this season, his save percentage from the Premier League has fallen to just 64.9%, one of the lowest in the division, having averaged at least 71.9 in each of his previous 7 campaigns for Liverpool in the Premier League. Only Arsenal have allowed fewer shots on target than Liverpool in the top flight this term. It's an indication. I mean, to me, his distribution hasn't been what we would have gotten used to from Alisson Becker. I can't say I noticed too much him not saving shots he should have or stuff like that. I mean, it hasn't really stood out to me, but I have had some concerns about Alisson Becker. Is maybe his best days behind him? Is he starting to be a bit more shaky? Well, we don't really know what to do with regards to Georgi Marmadashvili, because of course we haven't seen enough of him. Will he play tomorrow in the FA Cup? I mean, that's a decision for Arne. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know your thoughts on that one. It's all very well and good us having our perceptions, but when the data backs up that, yes, he is maybe not performing to the levels he has in previous seasons, that's a worry. Now, I want to move on to talk about Dominic Szoboszlai, because you're all probably stressing about what's going on with him being linked with Real Madrid, and the Echo have run a piece, and one of the lines in that piece was, unfortunately, it all feels very similar to Trent Alexander-Arnold's situation prior to his move to Real Madrid. And I get where they're coming from with that. He's like that post that you've seen from 433 about Vinicius Jr. as well, delivering him a pair of boots, and we know that Marco Rossi, his international coach, has spoken about the fact that Dominic Szoboszlai grew up dreaming about playing for Madrid, and you've probably seen the clip of him when he was in his Leipzig dorm as well, having that Real Madrid bag on his locker. So all of that aside, what do I think happens here? Well, we are in the box seat right now. Real Madrid probably don't have the money to come and tempt us enough for the likes of a Dominic Szoboszlai. Alexis McAllister, I would be a bit more concerned about potentially departing, but for Dom, I gotta say my gut feeling is that he stays and signs a new contract. The Real Madrid stories are always going to be there, and I'm not saying he might not have a move to Madrid in his future, but certainly I do think Liverpool get this one done and the contract extended. Madrid have priorities elsewhere, and again, we know they don't want to put up a load of dough for somebody. They like to get players on free contracts or bring in young players, give them decent wages, and maybe pay a fee for them. So let's wait and see what happens here with regards to Szoboszlai, but I don't think we've gotten to worry about, in all honesty. They could be famous last words, I know. But for now, that is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. A reminder, there'll be no live stream tonight, but we will be back tomorrow. We'll be starting from 6:45 p.m. Connor will be here in the morning with a news update as well. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Do please hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the video. But most importantly, ladies and gents, let me know your thoughts in the comments on this and everything that I've spoken about during this video. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.